The need for lifeguards across the region has never been greater than right now. The lifeguard shortage is so drastic that some pools and swimming areas won't even open this season.
That is unless community members step up and become lifeguards. As Fox 13's Nikki Torres reports, organizations are also on the hunt for people to become swim instructors.
In Washington, the drowning rate is higher than the national average, and for our friends in Oregon and Idaho, our neighboring states, that rate is even higher. Here at North Shore YMCA, they say that getting kids into the water, getting them into those lessons early, it is the first line of defense when it comes to the water. This is a story we have been following since the pandemic, the drastic need for lifeguards. Now heading into summer 2023, it is still a major problem for your local YMCA and other parks and rec groups.
I think every single one of our locations is hiring right now. If you go on our website, we will have positions open at every single one of our branches.
So why the struggle? Why is it so hard to find people to fill these chairs?
This job is different than a job working at a coffee shop or at a grocery store. There's additional responsibilities that come with lifeguarding. You know, you do have people's lives in your hands.
That training can be time-consuming and expensive. Some cost up to $200, but there are some scholarship programs that can help pay for it. And if you're up to the task, the job can be rewarding.
It's finding those people that, you know, are wanting to make a difference in our community, have that swimming ability.
Once you certify as a lifeguard, you can train to be a swim instructor. It's a role that is also in dire need, as it's what can save a child's life in an emergency.
Getting kids in swim lessons at an early age where they get confident and build those skills, where they learn how to float, where they learn how to, if they do fall into the pool, get out of the pool in a safe manner.
In Tacoma, Metro Parks and Rec has been having a really difficult time staffing lifeguards. Pre-pandemic, it had up to 200 people on deck. Now, it's at around 60. It is forced to limit pool operations this summer unless it can hire more. In Federal Way, the Weyerhaeuser King County Aquatic Center tells me its lifeguard roster is also lower than what it was before the pandemic. Because of that shortage, it can only organize about 75% of its events that it normally would. Then in Seattle, Parks and Rec tells me in order to be at full operation level, it needs 400 lifeguards. As of today, it barely has 300. Unfortunately, that means 2 swimming pools, 2 wading pools, and 3 beaches are non-operational. Back at YMCA, it is also facing changes if staffing doesn't increase.
Obviously, our first priority will be to make sure that lifeguards in the chair, and that could take us, you know, some of our swim lesson staff away. You know, we might have to move our swim instructors into the lifeguard chair.
If you are interested in becoming a lifeguard, keep in mind that there is a physical test before you start that certification process. The first, you have to be able to swim 300 yards in a normal pool that is down and back 3 times. Second, you have to be able to pick up a brick down on the deep end and then bring it back to the surface. And third, the last, you do have to be able to tread water. In the deep section, that's for at least 2 minutes. You are not allowed to use your hands. In Bothell, I'm Nikki Torres, Fox 13 News.
All right, and speaking of swimming, drowning is actually the leading cause of death for children ages 1 through 4. More parents are putting their babies and young kids in swim lessons to learn survival skills in the water. Infant Swimming Resource, or ISR, lessons are geared towards 6-month-olds to 6-year-olds. This afternoon, we're hearing from an ISR instructor. In Barbara Gorman's backyard pool,
are you ready?
Yeah. Kiddos are swimming to safety.
Good going.
They are floating on their backs.
Good job.
Even if sometimes it's an adjustment. Over time, kids are learning to love the water.
Did you like your float?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It still gives me chills, like when I'm teaching a baby and they successfully roll over independently without my assistance for the first time and get their air. It's so exciting.
The kids call her Miss Barb. She's been teaching ISR lessons for almost 20 years.
Each time I teach them a little bit more, kids are sensory motor geniuses. That is their primary mode of learning. So it's through my hands and I use the currents of the water and the touch of the wall and the touch of the steps and visual cues.
The program lasts 6 weeks. For 10 minutes a day, 5 days a week, they swim with Miss Barb.
We're not chucking babies in the water and like throwing them in, and it's not a party trick. It's not like a fend for yourself thing. It's very much an intentionally guided process.
I mean, it's an investment, but it's worth every penny and every minute that it takes to do it.
All 5 of Annie Harkin's kids have gone through the program.
When I was a baby, I almost drowned, and it's something that has always been in the back of my mind and my family's mind. So we just wanted them to be as safe as they possibly could in and around the water.
Many parents enroll their babies when they turn 6 months old.
We were at the pool, like signed out, ready to go.
Megan's 1-year-old Chase is taking lessons now.
I have no worries at all. Like it's such a security to like do this and like know that if God forbid my kids fell in, they would be fine.
Daniel says it is invaluable.
I've seen what it does, and I've seen when I had babies, I'm right here and I let them play and they'll fall in the water and they go right to a float. Not that I never not watch them in the pool, but it takes 1 second, and to know that they have those skills, there's nothing that beats that.
Thanks, Miss Brooke. You're welcome. Thank you, guys.
All right, so more than 300,000 kids have learned to swim through Infant Swimming Resource, or ISR swim lessons all across the country. And some of these kids are swimming before they're walking. So if you want more info or want to find an ISR instructor near you, just head to fox13seattle.com/links.